The love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Sufi path is understood. What is the role and need and importance of the love of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? So that no one loves Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala except that their love of the Prophet, or love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is through the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And people talk about the tawassul. They talk about the making tawassul through one's works. And we can just say a little bit about this in connection with this. We have to remember that every single, that if you help with a little bit of a good work, you get the reward for all of that good work. You have to remember that. When fattara sa'iman, whoever gives somebody who's fasting in a day of Ramadan or otherwise a bite to eat at the end of the day, they take the reward for the whole fast. Which is why the Muslims should feed each other during Ramadan. They get more reward. Or if they give them a drink of water and they break their fast in the evening, that they have the reward for the whole fast. Man jahaza ghaziyan faqad ghaza. And whoever equips a soldier who is fighting in the path of Allah has gone himself to fight in the path of Allah. So somebody that helps with a bit of an ibadah, a bit of some sort of worship, has the reward for all of it. Similarly, someone who's taught people something that is useful to them, that for example they apply in their life and it changes their life, has the reward for all of their good works. And our good works from beginning to end, whether it be faith in Allah, whether it be the shahada, la ilaha illallah, Muhammadun Rasulullah, whether it be wudu, whether it be salat, whether it be anything, iman in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whether it be all of the things that we experience in the mystical path or anything else, all of these one and all are through the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was the one who taught this deen, and he was the one who was inspired by it, and he was the one who brought it to us. And so every single work that we do is increasing the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's good works continuously. And the ulama unanimously concur about tawassul. Someone asked me to say something about it, that one can make tawassul or intercession with, or use as an intermediary to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala one's works. In the hadith of Bukhari that you're all familiar with, the great stone rolled down over the mouth of a cave, and each of the person raised his hands and he says, "Oh Allah, if I did such and such, if I did it for your sake, then roll back the stone a little bit." You know the hadith. And so this is using one's own works as an intermediary to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But who is the one responsible for all these works? Who is the one that taught us these works in order that we should do them? Who is the one who, from beginning to end, all of these works are his works in reality? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And so his station with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the love that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has for him, this is what we turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through in our love for the Prophet. We love the Prophet because the love of Allah is not complete without it. لَا يُؤْمِنُ أَحَدُكُمْ حَتَّى أَكُونَ أَحَبَّ إِلَيْهِ مِنْ وَالِدِهِ وَوَلَدِهِ وَالنَّاسِ أَجْمَعِينَ. None of you believes until I am more beloved to him than his father and his son and to all people entirely. Why? Because مَنْ لَا يَشْكُرُ اللَّهَ مَنْ لَا يَشْكُرُ النَّاسِ. He who is not grateful to people is not grateful to Allah. And who do we have anything to be grateful to in our religion except the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? You know, he was of human beings who they come through. All of it came through the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And so love of Allah is only there because the Prophet taught it to us. And so love of Allah is love of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the centrality of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam cannot be lost on anybody who can think.